Hi students, welcome to this video class. We will discuss in this class Classical Theory of Employment by Jean-Baptiste Say, shortly called by J.B. Say. There was no single theory which could be labeled as Classical Theory of Employment. After the publication of book named Wealth of Nation by Adam Smith, the classical theory developed by David Ricardo, J.S. Mill, J.B. Say and A.C. Pigou. In this unit, we will learn about the Say's law of market. According to his theory, he says that supply creates its own demand. Supply creates its own demand. According to Say, when goods are produced by firms in the economy, they pay reward to the factors of production. The household, after receiving rewards, the factors of production spend the amount on the purchase of goods and services produced by them. Therefore, each product produced in the economy creates demand. Demand equal to its value in the market. I can explain this by one example. Muthu is working in one company. He earns rupees 15,000 per month. What he will do? He will buy household things or something else. He spend his money in the market to fulfill his needs. So what happened? His money spent on the purchase of goods produced by others. So whatever produced in the economy, it will be easily sold in the market where there is a full employment. But there are some assumptions to operate this law. First, the economy operates at the full level of employment. That means full employment prevails in the economy. Secondly, wages and prices are flexible. No single buyer and seller, the competitive market existed. Third point, there will be a perfect competition. There are many buyers and sellers. Fourth point, no government intervention. Market forces only determine everything. Fifth one, it is a long run analysis. No possibility of overproduction, limited production and all resources used till the full employment level. Money is the medium of exchange. இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும் ஒரு எக்கனாமியில் தான் சேல்ஸ் லா அப்ளை ஆகும். ஸோ தெர் ஆர் சம் கிரிட்டிசிசம்ஸ் பை கீன்ஸ் அகெயின்ஸ்ட் சேல்ஸ் லா. ஃபர்ஸ்ட், Keynes says it is not applicable because demand does not increase as much as production increases. அதாவது ப்ரொடக்ஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிற அளவுக்கு டிமாண்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகாதுங்கிறது தான் கீன்ஸோட வாதம். நெக்ஸ்ட், ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் அட்ஜஸ்ட்மெண்ட் ப்ராசஸ் வில் நாட் ரிமூவ் அன்எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட். இட் கேன் பி ரிமூவ்ட் ஒன்லி பை இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். இப்போ இருக்கிற கண்டிஷன் எக்ஸாக்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள். After the lockdown, government will issue some remedies through government and bank credit policies. Unemployment automatically adjust ஆகாது. நியூ இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் முதலீடு பண்ணால் மட்டும்தான் அன்எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் ப்ராப்ளம் நீங்கும். மணி இஸ் நாட் நியூட்ரல். People never spend all the money. Some people hold themselves for their future plans. Somebody will save. Somebody will invest on other kinds of wealth. Say's law based on overproduction, but it is not possible because sometimes overproduction is possible. Example, agricultural goods. அதாவது எல்லா பனானாஸும் எல்லா டொமேட்டோஸும் சம்டைம்ஸ் சேல்ஸ் ஆவதில்லை. In some economy, full employment is impossible. There is underdevelopment in capitalistic economy. There is a need for government intervention in the time of unemployment. Government தலையிட்டா தான் ஓவர் ப்ரொடக்ஷனையும் அன்எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டையும் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியும். These are all the criticisms by Keynes. Next unit is Keynes theory of employment and income. We already discussed about classical theory of employment and income. According to that theory, the economy will be in equilibrium in the long run with full employment. What is full employment? Supply is equal to demand. If supply of labor is 100, the 100 laborers will get the job. Underemployment is if the supply of labor is 100 but the demand for the labor only for 80. So the remaining 20 persons will not get work. This is called underemployment. Classical economist says that the full employment is a general case, unemployment case is a rare case, because unemployment arises only in a short time that can be solved by adopting wage cut policy. This is the statement of classical economist. But J.M. Keynes' statement is unemployment is the general case, full employment is the rare case. Note the difference between the two points. Keynes says that unemployment arises due to lack of total sufficient demand. Therefore, Keynes' theory is also called as underemployment equilibrium. He explained in his book published in 1936, The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. Then he has taken short-term view against long-term analysis of classical economists. And he uses new terms. They are aggregate demand and aggregate supply and effective demand. Aggregate means total. Aggregate denotes total demand for all goods and services. Aggregate supply denotes the total supply of goods and services. And the effective demand is nothing but total demand which is equal to total supply. When the effective demand is achieved, the economy will attain the equilibrium, but it does not show full employment. It will show only underemployment. So we have to understand the aggregate demand, aggregate supply and effective demand. Let us learn the aggregate demand. According to Keynes, the aggregate demand is the amount of money which the organizer expects to by selling the output produced by the number of laborers employed. The aggregate demand has the following four components: consumption demand, investment demand, government expenditure, net export. The desired or planned expenditure is the amount that households, firms, the government and the foreign purchasers would like to spend on domestic output. It can be expressed as aggregate demand is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. It can be explained with the help of diagram. It shows different level of prices at different level of employment. As the level of employment increases, the demand price also increases. Aggregate demand represent the aggregate demand curve. In the beginning, the aggregate demand curve increases with increasing rate and the increases with decreasing rate. This shows that as income increases owing to increases in employment, but expenditure of the economy increases at a decreasing rate. Then move on to aggregate supply function. It is an increasing function of the level of employment. It refers to the value of total output of goods and services produced in an economy. Supply price. For the production of goods, producers use the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and organization. So as more laborers are used, more supply of goods also increased. Therefore, the level of employment increases, the aggregate supply also will increase. So, positive relationship between the employment and the aggregate supply. The following are the components of aggregate supply: aggregate consumption expenditure, aggregate private savings, total expenditure incurred by the government, personal transfer payments to the foreigners. It can be expressed as ASF is equal to C plus S plus T plus RF, that is equal to aggregate income generated in the economy. The following diagram explains the two types of aggregate supply curve. Z curve is a linear curve because wages are fixed. Z1 curve is non-linear curve because the wage rate will be increases with the increase of employment. But there is the full employment level is achieved, there is no possibilities of more production. NF line denotes the full employment level. So, the aggregate supply curve depends on the relation between the employment and productivity. Another one thing is, it depends on the relationship between price and wages. If the price will be high, the entrepreneur will increase the production by employing more laborers. At the same time, the prices will decrease, he will get loss, so he will stop the production. On the whole, the aggregate demand function and aggregate supply functions are the important factor in determining the level of economic activity. Next, we have to know the differences of Keynesian theory and classical theory. The following tabular column clearly explains the various differences. It is the detailed answer. Learn well. I'll send you more videos related to this topic for reference. Thank you for listening. I marked the detailed answer in this passage. Note it down. Study and write in your economics notebook.